Hey guys, and welcome to the Mondelez International Google Hangout. Today we're going to be talking about the grad schemes that we have on offer across Europe. So I've got some colleagues with me from across the continent. So we've got Steve, who's with me from the UK, and we've got Eliza from Germany and Emily from Belgium. So in turn, we'll go through several questions. We'll go through what some of you viewers may have submitted beforehand, and we'll just try and run through as many questions that you submitted as possible, and give you a real insight as to what our grad schemes like at Mondelez International. To begin with, we'll give you a bit of an insight into who we are, how we joined the business, and why we joined the business. So I'm Rich Morris. I'm on the HR graduate program based in the UK. I'm in the Bourneville office in Birmingham, so the home of Cadbury's. So it's really great to kind of be in that location. The main reason I applied to Mondelez was because I had such an interest in HR, and in terms of the company, the company's strategy is financial performance as well as being a great place to work. So that's really exciting from a HR perspective. So that was one of the main reasons that attracted me to Mondelez. And then additionally, being such a multinational company, I really wanted to work across a company that operates in several countries. This gives real variety to kind of understand different cultures. So Mondelez as a whole was just a perfect opportunity for me. It really stood out compared to other companies. Now, in terms of what I do, I've been in the role for three months now. I'm just going into my fourth month, and I'm part of the European talent acquisition team. So what this means is basically working on social media and doing our employer branding. So trying to get the very best talent into our company and really understanding how we tap into that talent and how we make it an attractive opportunity for people like you to apply for the scheme. So as part of that role, has been setting up these Google Hangouts, which has been a real highlight of my placement so far. I've been able to get in touch with people like Eliza and Emily from different countries and really get an insight into what opportunities we have across Europe and understand what kind of projects and stuff that they're involved with. So I'm going to hand over now to Eliza, and so Eliza's going to give you a bit of an introduction as to who she is and why she applied to join Mondelez. So Eliza, are you happy just to give the viewers a bit of an insight into why you joined the company?
Of course. So hi everyone, my name is Elisa and I'm from Germany, and I joined Mondelez 1 year ago as a marketing and sales trainee, or jumpy as we call it. And since then I work in marketing so sorry. Since then I work in marketing for two brands, and these are the brands Bullseye and Miracle Whip. And why did I join Mondelez? Well, these are mainly three reasons. So first, I heard a lot of good things before, so about the company itself and about the working atmosphere. And the second reason is the excellently structured program, which gives you the possibilities to take a deep dive into marketing, but as well as in sales. So this is also very important for me to do both, or to see both sides. And the third reason is that Mondelez has very lovely brands, and which give you great opportunities, especially as a marketeer. So I really like working here, and until now I had a lot of highlights, but actually my best highlight was yesterday. So we got the results for a Facebook campaign we did for one of our brands, and the results were amazing. And so when you see that something you did really pays off, then it's really, really nice.
Thank you very much for that, Eliza. Steve, are you okay to give the viewers a bit of an insight from your side, and why you joined the business and what your highlights been so far?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Stephen Say, and I'm a shift manager based in the UK. I'm in with distribution site. Currently, I'm on my second year in the supply chain and logistics UK and Ireland graduate scheme. The reason I chose Mondelez was because I like to see the difference that my work makes. So whether that's the release of dairy milk puddles or Boost Bites in store, you can kind of walk into a supermarket, go around the different aisles, and kind of see what projects you've been working on and see them on the shelf, which I think is a fantastic thing. And that's really why Mondelez stood out for me. The highlights of the program so far, quite a hard one to answer really, because I've had quite a few. I really like to see a process and then try and simplify it down. So, you reduce the number of working hours that it takes to do this process, and you have to use innovation in order to do that. And so, seeing a process at the start and then working on it and then reducing that down to the minimal working hours to complete that process. I really enjoy doing that, and that's something that my work has encouraged me to do in both roles, so my first and the one that I'm in now. From a kind of less work perspective almost, it was really good also to do a cycle ride from Uxbridge, which is in London, to our Bourneville office in Birmingham. That's 200 kilometres. I co-organised this, and we had 26 riders across many different sites throughout the UK, be that Bourneville, Uxbridge, Chirk and Marlborough, and we raised over £8,000 for our chosen charity, which was the British Paralympic Association. And I thought it was really good to see that we raised so much money and all 26 riders finished this, even though it was a long, long way for a lot of them. That really was a highlight for me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Steve. Emily, are you okay to give the viewers at home a bit of an insight into why you joined the company?
Yes, so hello everybody, I'm Emily. I started a little bit more than 1 year ago as a commercial trainee, so on the field, which allowed me to be in contact with our customers. And I now am in the CSNL department, which stands for Customer Service and Logistics. And I am a product change manager for our brands Côte d'Or and Milka in Benelux, but I'm located in Belgium. Why I joined Mondelez? Because I thought it offered a very attractive program, which is the JUMP program, that allows me to experience different functions in different departments, but also because it had and it has clients that I'm familiar with, so it's a very down-to-earth business. And thanks to the size of the company, it offers many international opportunities. So one of my highlights so far in the program has been, it is related to a project I'm currently working on. It's a new product development, and yesterday was the plant trial, and I heard it went all well, so I'm very happy with this. This is it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Emily. So thank you for that, guys. I'm sure that gave the viewers a bit of an insight into who you guys are and why you came to the company. So we're going to move on now to the questions that the viewers at home have posed. So the first one was basically, what kind of rotations and what's the format of the graduate scheme? Now, to begin with, it's important to say that it does vary from country to country, but predominantly it's between 2 and 3 years. So in the UK, for example, they're 3-year schemes with possibly 3 to 4 rotations in different roles. In places like Germany, I believe it could be 2 years with potentially 2 or 3 rotations. So it does vary from country to country, and you should be able to find that information from the advertisements that you look at and through liaising with the local contacts. But predominantly it's between 2 and 3 years with a wide range of rotations. Eliza, are you okay just to kind of give the viewers a bit of information about your scheme and what you envisage the rotations you will be going through?
Yes, so our program in Germany here, the marketing and sales program, is also 3 years long. And during this 3 years, we have 3 rotations. So we go to the marketing department, to the field force as a district manager, and also to the key account team. And then the rotations are not fixed, so it's not fixed with which position you start. So I started in marketing, and I'm there for 1.5 years. And afterwards, I moved to the field force as a district manager for 6 months. And this position can be somewhere around Germany. And after these 6 months, I moved back to Bremen, where our German head office is. And there I joined the key account team for another year. And the responsibilities or tasks you have, they always, of course, depend on the job you are on and on the team, but you can be sure that they are always very challenging and you learn a lot. So after 3 years, when you ended your program, you got a lot of cross-functional experience in sales and marketing.
Thank you for that, Eliza. That was great. So we'll move on to another question now. So I hope that gave you a bit of a feel for kind of what rotations you can expect and what the structure of the scheme is. So the next question kind of relates to rotations, and it's similar in nature. One of the questions that we've had is kind of what locations? What's the locational aspect of the scheme? Can you be expected to move between various areas in your country? For example, on my program on the HR scheme in the UK, the rotations that we have predominantly rotate between Bourneville, which is in Birmingham, and Uxbridge, which is in London. So I'm going to have the opportunity to move between the two sites and get a feel for the two different offices. I think this is pretty similar across the schemes, that you'll be able to move between different offices, but it really does vary between country to country and also scheme to scheme. Steve, are you happy to give a bit of information around what you can expect from your scheme?
Yeah, so on the supply chain logistics graduate scheme, you'll no doubt spend a bit of time in Bourneville, since that's the sort of hub for our logistics. But you can also spend a lot of the time in our Uxbridge office. It's a very flexible program. There's plenty of roles in those two offices for you to choose from. But you're not limited just to the UK. It's Northern Europe, so you can spend some time in our Dublin office, which is in Coolock, or anywhere in the Nordics. Really, it's up to you. You can choose and then ask the relevant contacts if there's any roles available, and you can be slotted into them. It really is that flexible. Take me, for example. I started off in Bourneville in a role that was very much a cross between marketing and logistics. But then I also worked a lot in Uxbridge in the same role. The team that I was in was very much split, and that gave me a good opportunity to network across both sites. My current role in the Minworth Distribution Centre is now a team management role, and so I've moved in my just over a year. I've moved across 3 sites, so it is very flexible. I'm hoping to, in my next role, move to Dublin as well.
That's perfect. Thank you very much for that, Steve. I'd just like to echo what Steve was saying there. Kind of the way that Mondelez is structured, you do get a lot of exposure to our other European operations. Take me, for instance, in the talent acquisition team, I'm part of a European structure. So my actual line manager sits in Zurich in Switzerland. So I'll have the opportunity at some point this year to go out there and to see him and to see our operations out there. So it really is in the name, Mondelez International. You do really get exposure to all of the different countries, especially on a European level on these schemes. That leads us nicely into the next question, really, which is in relation to kind of what international exposure can you expect to have from the scheme. As I've said, I'm constantly in touch with people across Europe due to my role, so I can be speaking to people in Poland, Germany, France, Italy, so all over the region, really. And it's great to kind of understand how things vary between countries and how working practices vary. Emily, are you okay just to kind of give the viewers a bit of an insight into what you've had in terms of international exposure?
Yes, of course. Well, until now, during my experience on the field, I went to Paris for one day to meet my French colleagues in the sales department to help them understand a commercial tool that had been developed and launched in Belgium, which was the pilot country where I was located, so I knew quite about it. And now in my current role as a product change manager, as I'm responsible for Codor and Milka in the Benelux, I get to go to the Netherlands every so often to hold live meetings with my Dutch colleagues. But my manager is also based there, so it's a chance for me to go and see her. I've also been last week to Birmingham in the UK for a European team meeting where I met all my European colleagues in PCM chocolate. And it's not international, but I am also moving quite a lot to the plants located in Belgium to see the first production of a product or anything else.
Thank you very much for that, Emily. So we'll move on to the next set of questions now. One question that was recurring in some of the ones submitted by the viewers at home was kind of what key skills are there for particular schemes. Fortunately, a lot of the questions related to what key skills are there for the graduate scheme in marketing. Now, Eliza, are you happy to give a bit of an insight into what you think are the key skills for a marketeer on a graduate scheme here at Mondelez?
Yeah, of course, because we have to do marketing and sales. You have to kind of have a mix of different skills. So you have to be analytic as well as creative, which is very important for marketing. But you also have to be able to fight for your opinion or to fight for your ideas. But on the other side, you also have to be able to make compromises. So you have to work in a team, you have to work with other people. So this is very, very important to be able to do that. And of course, in sales and marketing, it's always very helpful to have good communication skills.
Thank you very much. And then again, similar with you guys, we've had a lot of questions kind of what are the key skills for a CSNL grad scheme with Mondelez? Steve, are you okay just to kick things off with that and give us a bit of what you think in relation to that?
Yeah, so I think first key skill really is innovation. Like I said, there are many processes throughout supply chain logistics that you could simplify or shorten. And if you can save the company a number of working hours per process, you'll be effectively saving them money. And that's really what you want to be taking from each placement to placement. You can say that you've saved this much money. Also, charisma, I'd say, is another key skill. You'll be finding that you have to network a lot, and if you're charismatic, it's so much easier, and you'll be much better at it. So that's something I definitely recommend. I don't mean just be loud and try and be heard and try and boss people around. I mean you need to be likable, you need to be respectful and really appreciate people's experience and ask about their different roles and just get talking to people really.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Steve. Emily, have you got anything that you'd like to add to that?
Hello. Yes, I would add planning and organization skills because as a PCM you have the role of a project manager, so you need to make sure that projects are delivered on time while respecting the timings of the processes, but also communication skills because to keep everyone aligned on the decisions that are made. So make good presentations and communicate clearly is key.
Thank you, Emily. So like I said before, we'll move on to the next set of questions. In relation to, in this one, it's relating to cross-functional moves. We've had a few viewers ask whether or not cross-functional moves are a possibility. I'd just like to say here that during your scheme at Mondelez, you'll have the opportunity to try and tailor where you go next through the rotations. So this is something you can really pick up with your mentor, and your mentor is somebody that we'll discuss a little bit later. But really, it's kind of you're in charge of where you go in terms of your rotation. So cross-functional moves, if it's something you want, you can discuss it with your mentor, and then hopefully, if the business allows it, you'll be able to move into a role in a different area. Emily, are you happy to kind of just give a bit of an insight from your side?
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned before, I started in the Department of Sales as a commercial trainee, where I was on the field in contact with our customers and where I learned to negotiate contracts and get to know our brands better, get an idea about our shelf vision or the perfect store concepts and other things. So as a whole, I would say that I learned how the business is functioning at the end of this whole supply chain. And this experience really learned me the base of our business. And in my new role as PCM, I realized that I really needed this experience to understand everything that is happening here in the office behind our products. And now I moved to the Department of CSNL as Product Change Manager. And here I'm really at the other side of the barrier because everything starts from an idea, which goes through processes, discussions, decisions, improvements, and in the end the production. And in the end it ends on the shelf of our customers, in the house of our consumers. So it really offers me to have a broad overview of the whole workflow processes. I also work on many projects at the same time, and my role is to ensure that quality, costs, and timing limits are respected. So every day is very different. I'm in contact with various departments, such as the marketing department, the sales department, the master data forecasting department, and this allows me to build a lot of relationships in the company. And then I'm also in contact with the factory, which I think is very interesting because I need to do feasibility and capacity checks with them. And in my third role, I hope I will move in the marketing department. So there are various departments to experience.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Emily. Now, another question that we've had is kind of what support networks can you expect coming onto a graduate scheme with Mondelez? So just to give you a bit of an insight, each of our graduates will get a mentor who's a senior leader within the function that they're within. So my mentor is somebody that's really senior within HR. She sits on the HR leadership team for the country. And they're really there just to kind of focus on your development. So you have your line manager who kind of touches base with you every day and understands how you're doing in terms of your current rotation. But you have your mentor who's really focused on your longer term development and where you want to be 3, maybe 5 years from now, or even further. So they really sit down with you and get an insight as to where you are now, where you want to get, and kind of what experiences you need and potentially what placements you need next to get where you want to go. So the mentor is kind of more long-term focused. You also get a buddy. So a buddy is a colleague, probably a graduate in the year above you. So mine did the exact same role a year before me. And he basically just they'll support you into the business, give you an insight into your role, who you should potentially network with, and gives you an opportunity to ask any questions that you wouldn't be comfortable asking other people. So they really help you embed within the company and be really comfortable within your first few weeks. Eliza, are you happy to share your experience with the buddy system?
Yeah, so in Germany we have this buddy system, which was set up by the jumpies themselves a few years ago, and I think it's very helpful because, as you already said, it is a graduate who has worked for Mondelez for quite some time and who made the same experiences and can share them with you. And yeah, it's always helpful to have a person you can ask general questions, maybe about the company, but maybe also about the life in a new city. So because most of us jumpies, we moved to Bremen, so we don't know the city, and then we have someone we can ask about something. And for me, it was also very helpful that my buddy was a jumpy who worked on the same position before. So I was able to ask her things about the job as well, and not only about general things in the company.
Thank you for that, Eliza. Moving on, Steve, are you okay to give the viewers an insight into how you found the mentor system here in the UK?
Yeah, so a mentor is someone quite senior, and mine heads up supply planning, which plans all the supply for manufacturing plants into factories across Europe. He joined the graduate scheme back in the 90s, but he's made his way up through the company since then, and because of that he's able to offer really good advice, anything business related, which is a really good thing to have, really. Having someone so senior means that it's really good for networking as well, so he's able to put you in contact with potential future bosses or people that have done the job that you want to do, and so you can ask for advice. That's also really useful, but he's not necessarily someone that you can be scared to go and ask or approach. It's someone that you can just have a friendly chat with. You don't need to set up a meeting to go see him. You can just go up to his desk. Certainly that's how I found it. So my mentor, I saw him even half an hour just before I was about to start the half marathon here in Birmingham, and I got chatting to him until we started, really. So he is partly that mentor, but he's also very approachable, and you can talk to him about anything, business related or else.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Steve. Emily, are you okay to discuss how the mentor system works in Belgium and how you've experienced it?
Yes. So a few days after my first day at Mondelez, all jumpies were assigned a mentor. Mentors are usually people that already work for a few years in the company, and mine has also been working in other countries, so he knows a lot about Mondelez, and he's someone that helps me answering questions I have, and I can discuss my my development plan with him, my career path. And as Steve previously mentioned, he's really someone I can just have a chat with. He doesn't manage me. He gives me personal advice and provides me with useful information concerning opportunities at Mondelez.
Thanks for that, guys. I'm sure that gave the viewers a real insight into what to expect from the mentor and buddy systems that we've got in place. Another question that we've had is related to the training and development and kind of what do we have access to as graduates across Europe. I'd just like to say that on a lot of our schemes, we offer graduates the opportunity to undertake professional qualifications. So for the HR grad scheme in the UK, we're able to study for the CIPD qualification, and also on our marketing, people can study for that particular qualification, and on our engineering schemes, people can become chartered engineers. This is all fully supported by the organisation. Across the countries it varies, and between schemes it varies, but it's quite consistent across Europe that this type of thing is supported. If we could just go around, guys, and give a bit of an insight into what you've experienced so far in terms of training development, not necessarily professional qualifications, but what else you've had access to. Eliza, are you okay to kick things off to begin with?
Yes, so in marketing, or from the marketing view, we have a marketing or European marketing platform and marketing academy, which is called The Wire. And I took 2 trainings, which were both organized by The Wire. And the first one was a marketing onboarding event in Zurich, in Switzerland. And there, a lot of European marketing, I call them newbies, came together to meet each other and to talk to each other and build a network. And we were also able to hear a lot about our career possibilities and about the way marketing is done at Mondelez. So this was very nice. And additionally, we were also able to meet our leadership team. And this was also very helpful to build a network. And the second training was a marketing fundamentals training in Amsterdam, and it was specially built for marketeers with less than 1.5 years experience. And this was brilliant. We had great coaches with a lot of experience, and afterwards I felt very inspired and well prepared for future marketing challenges I have to face as a marketeer.
Thank you for that, Eliza. Steve, are you okay to give the viewers some information on kind of what you've experienced in terms of training and development here at Mondelez?
Yeah, so in the UK, as part of the graduate scheme in the Northern Europe graduate schemes, you'll be part of a graduate academy. So these take the form of 1 or 2 day workshops, and these happen 2 to 3 times a year, and you'll learn things like project management skills, how to give and receive feedback, the different personalities that make up a large team, and also you get the opportunity to meet graduates from the other Northern European countries as well. So I found them really useful as a chance to take a step back from your role and really focus on your own learning. So for me, for example, I found it really useful in the feedback session. You may think that you know how to give someone feedback, but in this session you'll learn the proper techniques to give the best feedback possible, whilst also making the person who's receiving it more motivated to take it on and improve. More than anything, it's just really good fun, to be honest. You meet the other graduates from the Northern European countries, and it's therefore a really good opportunity to network as well. So it's really it's a very useful thing to have.
Thanks for that, Steve. Emily, have you got anything you'd like to add to that in terms of training and development?
Yes. When I was a commercial trainee, I followed the Mondelez Sales Academy training, which consists of a 2 days training where you learn about the best practices of a commercial trainee or a sales representative. So you learn how to start a conversation, how to negotiate contracts, how to end the visit, and above all, how you prepare the next visits, which is very important. So it was really about tips and tricks about commercial experience. So it really helped me developing my negotiation skills.
Thank you for that, Emily. Now we're pushed for time now, but we'll go through the last couple of questions we've got here. So one of the main ones that kept coming up from a lot of the viewers from across Europe was what type of projects can graduates expect to be working on during their scheme here at Mondelez? Eliza, are you okay to give the viewers an insight into what projects you've been working on?
So in marketing, one of the focus areas, of course, communication for the brand. And there, one of my favorite projects is a Facebook campaign for our barbecue sauce brand Bullseye, but it was also a very challenging project, but this is why I liked it. And we were able to set up this Facebook campaign with Facebook posts, which were kind of provocative, I have to say, because Bullseye is a brand with a very manly and bold positioning, and we used this positioning to stand out against the rest of barbecue sauce competitors. So we were really allowed to do things differently. And as a small and local brand, it was really challenging to create kind of buzz. But because this campaign really polarized because of this provocative tone of voice, we created this buzz and we got the results. And it is really a great campaign with great results, and I'm really proud of it. So this is one project I worked on since I started working at Mondelez.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Eliza. Emily, have you got anything to add in terms of the projects that you've been working on during your time here?
Yes, well, the benefit of being a project manager is that you work on various projects at the same time. I'm currently working on 19 projects, and they are very broad. It could be a new product development, limited editions, projects about delisting products, or promotion projects, productivity projects, such as plant transfers. I've also a quality improvement project where I need to change the recipe of one of our products. So it's basically, yeah, everything. You can be working on every project, and the other benefit is that as a PCM, you have your own portfolio of products. So you manage this on your own, so you're given a lot of responsibilities from day one. So I think it's great.
Brilliant, thank you for that, Emily. So the final question that I'm going to pitch to you guys, it's came up a few times by the viewers at home, is why would you really recommend joining a graduate scheme with Mondelez in whatever country it is across Europe? Why does it stand out, and why should somebody apply? Eliza, are you happy to start this one off?
Yes, so I would recommend the program because it gives you everything you want for the start into your career. So you have a well-organized program and you have talented colleagues you can learn a lot from. I think this is always important. So these are two things I really like. And of course you have wonderful brands for which you are allowed to take over a lot of responsibility. So you can learn a lot and you can really learn every day. And yeah. So you can get a lot of experience, and after you've closed, so after I finish my program, I think, yeah, I'm really ready to start fully into the job.
Brilliant, thanks for that, Eliza. Steve, have you got anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so I'd really recommend it because you get a real large amount of experience in such a short time. So in those 3 years in the UK that you do the graduate scheme, you'll do 4 different placements, which is quite a lot. You fast track your career in that way. Your learning curve never plateaus, so it's really good to get further faster. Also, the exposure that you get is second to none. You know, having a mentor who is very senior, and also just being introduced to many senior managers throughout the business is something that you just don't get elsewhere. So I think graduate scheme is excellent for that.
Perfect, thanks for that, Steve. Emily, do you want to just finish off with a comment from you?
Yes, I will. Well, for me, this program is really amazing because I get to rotate within different functions in different departments, so I get to see everything. And I'm also in a continuous phase of learning in an environment where people are willing to learn. My colleagues are always there to help me out with things. You develop a lot of skills and get to know the organizational structure and processes better. So as Steve would say, it's a great jump start for your career.
Great, thank you for that, guys. I'm sure that gave the viewers at home a really good insight. So that brings us to the end of this Hangout. So I hope that gave the viewers at home a really good insight into what a graduate program is like with us. But if you do have any questions that weren't answered, if you want to submit those through the same process that you did previously, or you can comment on our YouTube channel because this will be uploaded there afterwards. Other than that, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in, and then good luck with your applications if you apply. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.